Hello everyone! Today we're talking about mummified pets. What with their grand civilizational achievements, amazing monuments, their complex religion and everything else, it's easy to forget that the ancient Egyptians were just people. So naturally they loved having pets. Their love for pets began really early in their history, or should I say, prehistory. In this site called Tarkhan, archaeologists found duck and donkey burials. By the way, the first time I said that, I said donkey burials. So anyway, these ducks and donkeys were found in their very own coffins. This sort of expense suggests that these were beloved pets. And in the Valley of the Kings, archaeologists found several mummies of baboons. These were discovered in an excellent state of preservation. Also, they had their canines removed to prevent serious injury. This suggests that they were kept in a domestic setting. Monkeys appear frequently as pets in wall paintings in noblemen's tombs, where they're rendered playfully, usually under a chair. In this other one here, this monkey is under the throne of none other than the great Queen Tiye, wife of Amenhotep III, and instead of just sitting, it's jumping around. The examination of the baboon mummies discovered in the Valley of the Kings has shown that they were healthy and very well looked after. One particularly touching example is the baboon mummy found just outside a tomb, also buried in its own coffin. As the archaeologists who discovered it put it, quote, had been carefully wrapped and buried as though it were a child, end quote. Not only that, but a saucer of raisins or grapes was placed inside the coffin, probably its favorite snack. Speaking of which, here's another tomb scene showing a monkey eating some kind of fruit, also under a chair. And this little scamp here is actually eating grapes, while mischievously also kicking some things over, including what appears to be either a fig or a pomegranate. Near the coffin of the baboon burial with the grapes, the same archaeologists found another coffin, and it was a really massive one this time. And upon opening it, they found that it contained the mummy of a horse. Buried just outside the tomb, this horse was probably the favorite of its owner, the famed Senenmut, who lived in the 1400s BC and who was one of the top officials under Hatshepsut, the female pharaoh. And speaking of female royalty, this mummy of a gazelle belonged to Princess Hatshepsut, who lived in the 11th century BC to early 10th century BC. Not only was it buried in its own coffin, but the quality of its wrapping is clearly top-notch, and it was actually mummified in the same way as the wealthiest people of the time. And as for you cat lovers out there, don't you worry, I gotcha. Prince Thutmose, the crown prince of Amenhotep III, commissioned this amazing artifact. He made this stone sarcophagus, now in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, for his beloved cat, Tamit. He clearly really loved her, because an actual stone sarcophagus for a pet is extremely rare. This is the only example I even know of. Stone was really expensive, you see. Heck, most people were never buried in a stone sarcophagus. And bonus fact, Tamit simply means the she-cat. Ta means the, and mit was probably actually pronounced something like Mia, making this, guess what? An onomatopoeia. Okay. So far you've seen me talk about everything from cats to gazelle. But there's a really glaring omission you may have noticed. And it's arguably the best pet there is, no less. And that's going to be the topic of my next video. Alright, cat crowd that I have in mind, fight like cats and that thing that rhymes with frogs. I may have said too much.